Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. If you're joining, and let me know who's here. If you're joining me live, and if you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay so I know that um, joined us when you could. Um, so, you guys, do you ever think if I just had more time, if I didn't have to work so much, if I didn't have so many commitments, then I would be healthy? These are the comments I get all the time from people. And these are very legitimate reasons why we don't do the things we know is good for our health, right? Like exercise, cooking healthy food, getting enough sleep, staying consistent with stress relieving activities. All of these things that we know are good for us tend to fall by the wayside when we get busy and have to cut things out, or we've always been busy, since we were teenagers, or always in sports, or always in extracurricular activities, and always working. And we became adults, and we've just always been like stayed super busy and never really had time to prioritize these things. That may be where you're at as well. Um, and all of these things are very understandable, like, especially in our country, it's not a thing to strive for. It's all about career and money goals and all these things, and we don't really um, get a lot of motivation, or like mentoring on how to take care of ourselves, right? It's just not it's not prioritized like getting an education and getting ahead in your career and all these things. And so it's very, it's kind of like natural that we wouldn't really prioritize these things, or be good at these things, because they're just not what we tend to focus on, especially in America. Um, but and you guys, I'm guilty too. I'm guilty of saying, I'll start that when I'm not so busy. Um, but the problem is, a lot of times that day never comes, and we just stay busy and we never get around to it. And and I've had to learn this lesson. And because, like, in my 20s and 30s, I didn't make time for stress management or cooking healthy food. I was on the go all the time. I was in college. I was trying to start my career and all these things. And, you know, and then I was forced to prioritize my health once I was diagnosed with diabetes. And so, that kind of forced me to have to care more about my health and what I'm doing, my lifestyle. Um, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. What do you do when your lifestyle is affecting your health? What things can we do to help this issue? Because I know a lot of you probably realize that this is an issue for you. This is the reason you can't get healthy, is because you're too busy. You feel like you don't have time to do these things. And so I'm going to give you some very easy, actionable steps that you can take, um, so that you can start prioritizing it if that's what you want to do. So I want to dive deeper into this topic, and I want to give you the tips that practical tips that are from my own experience, that I did myself. So these are things that I had to do myself when I was forced to prioritize my health. when I got that diabetes diagnosis. So, what do I mean when I say your lifestyle is affecting your health? Um, what do you guys think I mean? You can put it in the chat if you want to, if you think you know what I mean. Let me take a sip of water. So, what I mean is we all have routines, right? We all have habits that we do on a regular basis. And that's basically what your lifestyle is made up of. It's the sum of your habits and routines. Have you guys ever heard of that? Um, it is everything that you do on a routine or as a habit. That's pretty much that makes up your lifestyle. Now we have some things here and there that aren't a daily routine that we have to go do, but the majority of our life and our lifestyle is made up of our habits and our routines. So you could have a routine of taking a shower in the morning, brushing your teeth, going to work, eating dinner, and ending your day with watching TV on the couch. That may be a routine for someone. And I know there's other things in between there, but those are like some of the things that we do like on a daily basis without even thinking. And these actions are routines and habits, right? A lot of them are automatic, and that means we don't have to think about them. We just do them. They're like so ingrained in us. We are so used to doing these things that we don't even have to think about it. We just wake up and do these things, right? But then we add other activities like taking kids to after school activities, volunteering for things at school or at church or in the community, working overtime. A lot of us have to work overtime sometimes. Um, Appointments, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, other appointments, meetings at work, meetings with, different people. And we have our habits and routines, and then we add in all these other activities, and before we know it, we are overscheduled, we're stressed, and we have no time for what we need to do for our health. Does that sound familiar to you guys? Can y'all relate to that? So when we do this long term for months, years, we start to feel burned out, right? We start to feel like, oh, I'm so exhausted. Like, I just have too much on my plate. I can never, do the things I want to do. I can never relax. I can't fit anything else in my schedule. And burnout can affect our health in so many ways. And it's a slow effect. It's not like, usually it's very gradual. We don't just all like sometimes people do like burnout and they're like, that's it. I quit everything. I can't do it. But a lot of times we burn out and it's gradual and it's like a buildup, right? Um, so this can be a reason that we start emotionally eating. It can cause exhaustion. We can start having physical symptoms like headaches, digestive issues. I know a lot of people with digestive issues, IBS and different, digestive issues because they are burned out, they're stressed out, they're anxious, they feel overwhelmed, and it's because they have this, life that is just too crazy and too busy, and it's causing them health issues like digestive issues. And it even can cause depression and anxiety. When you get burned out, when you get to a point where you're like, I'm not even enjoying life anymore. I feel too overwhelmed. I feel like I have no time for what I want to do. You get to this point where you're just like anxious and depressed all the time. And And so, you guys, let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you're relating to this, if this sounds familiar, or if it sounds like something that you've been through. I've been through it. Like this is straight from my life. I am talking like straight from what I've experienced in life. So, just let me know if you relate to this as well. So, you guys, if we keep living this way, living this lifestyle year after year and neglecting our health, our symptoms turn into major health issues. They do gradually. You won't see it, but you'll start to just feel bad, have headaches, digestive issues, have a health issue here and there. And then bam, one day it's like, you've gained a bunch of weight, you're type 2 diabetic, the doctor tells you you have heart disease or cancer or some kind of big health issue, but really it's been building up. It's been building up by your lifestyle for all these years, and you just haven't had the time um to create healthier habits, because you just feel so overwhelmed with all that you have to do. And it's usually, this is usually when we go to the doctor and we get a diagnosis. Like me, I lived like this for years until I had an appointment, and my doctor diagnosed with me with diabetes, and she was like, "You've got to you got to change your lifestyle, or I'm going to have to put you on medication." And that's your choice. And so I was determined. I was like, okay, I'm not going to be on diabetes medication the rest of my life. I'm not going to be diabetic. I was determined I'm not going to do this. And so I really had to start looking at my lifestyle and what was causing these things. And like I've talked about before, you guys, getting that blood sugar monitor was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it really opened my eyes to how my lifestyle was affecting my blood sugar. Food, but not just food, sleep, stress, all these things that can cause your blood sugar to go up. And when your blood sugar's up, then you can't lose weight. You keep gaining weight. So, um, and then that's where a lot of the health issues come from. Um, but uh, so you guys, I don't want this for you. I've been through it, and I don't want this for you. I want you to get ahead of these things before they become a problem, right? But even if you have already had some of these issues, it's never too late. It's never too late to turn your health around. I turned mine around, and it's totally possible. I've had clients that have been, they've had 10 different diagnoses for things, and we've turned their health around. So it's never too late. I don't want you to ever think that. So let's talk about some simple steps that you can do to tweak your lifestyle. Not like totally change it, not like just quit everything and totally reinvent your lifestyle. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just little tweaks you can make to make your lifestyle a little bit healthier, to make you feel more like you, to bring more happiness into your lifestyle, and make you just feel better and make you feel more like you. So, the first thing that I suggest is I want you to look at all your commitments. What are all the things that you are committed to, that you have on your calendar, that you have on your schedule, that you have to do daily or on a weekly basis? I want you to look at that. And which one, I want you, once you get those all down or you look at your calendar, I want you to look at the ones that you need to do, right? Like going to work, you have to do that, right? taking care of your kids, um, whatever it is, whatever the things that are like priority number one, like you have to do them, they are a need. So look at that, and then look at the ones that you like doing. What are the things that you actually like doing? Do you like, like my son, he's in sports and things. Well, that's something that I actually enjoy going to see him play basketball, or I enjoy seeing him go, you know, race on the racetrack and things like that. Those are things that he enjoys, and they're things that I enjoy seeing him do because he's like in his element and I enjoy seeing that, right? Um, and it may be other things like, you have a weekly lunch date with one of your girlfriends, or you have a dinner date with your husband every week. What are those things that are on your calendar that you enjoy doing, that you look forward to? And then I want you to look at the things that you don't necessarily like. Like you you don't like it, but you agreed to it, but it stresses you out. You didn't really want to do it. You wanted to say no, but you felt obligated, or you just feel like, well, if I don't do this, they'll think this of me or whatever. But they're not things you have to do, like go to work, or take care of your kids and things like that. But they're just extra things that you said yes to that you don't really want to do, that you don't really like. So look at those. Look at all three of those categories. And if it's possible, I want you to eliminate the ones that you don't want to do. And I know there may be things that you've already committed to, right? Like we can't just quit those, right? Some of those things, like you agreed, you need to finish it out. But then maybe next time, just say, well, I've got some other things I've got to do, and so, or you don't even have to make excuses. Just say no. Just say no. I cannot fit that in my schedule, and you're gonna feel relieved. Like you're gonna feel so, like weight has been lifted from you when you eliminate those things that are not causing you joy, are not fulfilling you, and they're causing you stress. They're causing you stress, and you don't want to do it. um and I promise you, yeah, I know that, like, if you've agreed to something at church or in your community or whatever, I know it's hard to say no to those things, but I promise you that if you are doing something good for others, it is not worth losing your health over. That's how I think about it. Is this thing that, okay, I might be helping in this area, but is it causing my health to deteriorate? Because if that's the case, then is that really worth it? And that's really what you have to ask yourself. And people who care about you, they're not, they're going to understand. They're not going to want you to do things that are affecting your health, right? They're not going to want you to keep saying yes to this thing if it's causing you anxiety, stress, burnout, and you don't have the time to take care of yourself properly. So you just kind of have to think about those extra commitments like that. And do your best to eliminate them. I know it can be hard, especially if you're like one of those people who says yes to everything because you don't want to let people down, you don't want to disappoint people. But in the long run, that's going to hurt you, and that's going to hurt your health. And so, slowly, even if it's slowly over time, just start eliminating those things. Okay. And the second thing, once you have eliminated a couple things from your schedule, and hopefully some of those things are pretty easy, right? Like you can just stop doing it. Once you have eliminated those things from your schedule, and one thing I want to point out is sometimes it may just be, instead of sitting on the couch or laying in bed and watching TV for 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed, just eliminate, maybe only do a half an hour of that and do something more productive or more healthy for you, like a meditation, a few minutes of stretching, yoga, something like that. But you can, there's some things that, like, what I'm saying is there's some things that we can just eliminate, like, quickly, like 3 hours of Netflix, at night or on the weekends or something, so that we can fit in more things that will help our health, rather than hurt it, right? So after you've eliminated a couple of those things from your schedule, I want you to um, add something that you want to do to prioritize your health. So like I talked about, even if it's just eliminating some TV time at night and replacing that with a 5 or 10 minute meditation, or before you start watching TV at night, say, no, before I watch TV at night, I'm going to do a 10-minute meditation. Before I go lay in bed and watch TV, I'm going to take a bubble bath because I enjoy doing that. Anything like that. Before I clean up the kitchen and sit down to watch TV at night, I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk. Anything like that. Something to prioritize your health. Uh, a lot of times, I'll kind of like, when I'm cleaning up dinner and stuff, like after dinner, I will pack my husband's lunch for the next day so he has a healthy meal for work, so he doesn't have to go out to eat. That's something productive, and it helps you prioritize your health, something like that. So it could be uh, cooking at home more instead of eating out. Like maybe you eat out a lot, like 3 or 4 days a week, and you're like, okay, I want to prioritize. Instead of eating out, I want to prioritize cooking at home. Something like that. It could be scheduling walks or some kind of movement in, just a couple times a week. Something that you want to start focusing on to prioritize your health. Because if you've eliminated a few things from your schedule, now you have more time to prioritize your health, right? So when we eliminate things we don't want to do and replace them with things we enjoy, we start to feel more like ourselves, right? We start to feel like more like us, and not just like, oh, I'm the taxi driver driving everybody around, or I'm the chef that's always, cooking food for everybody. Or I'm always volunteering for my community or my church or whatever. And I just feel like everyone is always taking, but I have nothing to give for myself. So when we start eliminating these things, and replacing them with things that we want to do to prioritize our health, to feel more like us, then we feel happier. We don't feel as stressed. We don't emotionally eat. We don't feel burned out. Like when we start prioritizing things that we want to do that are good for us, we start to enjoy life again, right? We start looking forward to things because, like, Tuesday night, I'm going to do a yoga session and I'm looking forward to that. I don't have to, this is off my schedule and now I have time to do this and I enjoy that. Or taking a walk or a bike ride with my family. I enjoy that. I have time for it now. You start to enjoy life again because you're actually doing things that you enjoy instead of doing everything that people, want you to do or you're obligated to do. And when we can add enjoyment and relaxation into our week, we won't, like I said, we won't feel the need to stress eat anymore. We'll start to feel like, oh, I don't need that chocolate. I don't need that dessert. I really enjoy doing this. And you start to feel energized and you just start to feel happier overall. And so that's what I want for you. So that was number two. And the third step I want to give you, if you're feeling overwhelmed or burnout, is to ask for help. And that is a really tough one for a lot of us. We don't want to ask people for help. We want to, we want everybody to think we have it all together and that we don't need any help. And I know it's hard to do, but, um, you know, if we can just ask for what we need, like this is hard for me to do too. I don't like asking for help. I really don't. But if it's something like I know my limits, and if it's something that I really need, I will ask. I don't have a problem. Um, so you may need your spouse to take some of the things off your plate so you can start doing healthier habits, so you can make time for healthier habits. You may need your kids to start chipping in more and doing more chores so you can start adding in healthier habits. It may be as simple as that, just asking your family for help. Instead of them going and after dinner and watching TV or playing video games, ask them to do a few things so you have 10 or 15 minutes that you can do something good for you, that's going to make you feel better and make you healthier, right? So whatever it is that you need, um, I want you to feel okay with asking, because if your loved ones, um, they love you, right? Your loved ones love you and they want what's best for you. So speak up if you need help. So, um, I know these tips can sound like, oh my gosh, I can't eliminate anything. I can't prioritize my health. This is just not possible right now. I get that. And that is many times when I have people reaching out to me. A lot of times in the DMs, but a lot of times they book a call with me. And but I get these DMs where they're like, this is going on. I feel stressed, I feel burned out. I'm having health issues now because of it, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. Can you please help me? They find me online, or they have a friend or a family member that refers them to me or something, and they'll just DM me out of the blue, um and they just need direction. They just need advice. And I love doing this for people because um you know, I think that when you get a health diagnosis, or when you don't have, like when you go to the doctor and you don't have good blood work that comes back, or you're kind of like, you just don't know what to do. You just don't know where to start. It's good to get an opinion, right? Get an opinion of someone who's been there, someone who, like I'm a nutritionist, and just get an expert opinion. And a lot of times, when I start talking to these people, their doctor gave them no direction. They just were like, they told them, well, just eat right and exercise. Well, you know, what does that mean? What does that mean, eat right? How much exercise do I need? Like they just don't give them any direction. And my doctor didn't either. She was just like, you need to control your blood sugar, or I'm going to put you on medicine. And I got no other direction. So, that's when I usually get these DMs, or these people that book calls with me. Um, when they just need some direction, they need someone to tell them where to start, what to do, just some advice. Um, so what I do is when someone reaches out to me, I ask them some questions because I have to get to, okay, what are you dealing with? What are your issues? What are your goals? What is going on for you? So I ask them several questions, and then that way we can get to the root of their problem, and then I can give them some strategies to help them. And I do this all the time, like on almost on a daily basis, but several people a week I do this with. And this is something I do for free because I just want to help people. I want you guys to get what you need to just start taking action, to start doing something for your health. And I've been there, and I needed that direction. I needed that help, and I didn't get it from my doctor. And so it's just good to have that advice that's not from your doctor, because a lot of times they don't know what to do. They don't know what to tell you. They're not trained in that. They're trained in medicine. They're not trained in nutrition. And so it's good to have someone. It's good to get advice and direction from someone who is trained in nutrition, right? So that's what I offer. And I do it for free, because I just want to help you guys. I just want to help people. I want you guys um, to start prioritizing yourself and start prioritizing your health. So if you are interested in that, I want you to put reach out. If you want me to reach out to you, if you want to have a DM conversation or a phone call, either whatever you're comfortable with, and let me help you with your issues. We can get to your root issue. I can ask you some questions, and we can get to your problem and give you some strategies for how to solve that problem. Okay. So if you are interested in that, I just want you to put reach out in the comments, and I will reach out to you. I'll probably DM you and say, yeah, do you want to have this conversation in the DMs, or do you want to book a phone call? And it's totally free. There's no payment or anything. So just let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I would love to help you with your health issue. Yeah, I'll DM you, and we'll just go from there. And anyways, guys, I hope these tips helped you. I hope it gets you thinking about what you can eliminate from your lifestyle so that you can start creating the lifestyle that you want, that you enjoy, that makes you happy, instead of one that leaves you burnt out and stressed out and not enjoying life. So I hope these helped you, and I will see you next week with a new live. And you guys have a great day. Bye.